Children, now we are taking important concept from friction. So friction is nothing but frictional force actually. Frictional force. Now I have taken a compass box. Let us assume that it is an object. Suppose if I hold in my hand, according to first lesson, there are two types of forces. One is weight of the object acting downward, centrally downward weight. I can hold the object because of normal force, or the force acting normally in the upward by my hand to the compass box. So my hand is applying normal force on the compass box. So one force is in the downward direction, centrally downward, that is called weight of the object. Weight is also force. So if I place on the table, now table will apply normal force on the object in the vertically upward. Okay. Now the question is, why it is at rest? It is not moving. Because the upward force and the downward force both are equal here. Weight acting downward and weight acting upward. Weight of the object is downward actually, normal force in the upward direction. Okay. So two types of forces, one is weight is downwards, normal force upwards. So if they are equal, then we can say that it is at rest actually. Suppose if I push here, I am applying little force. This is called capital F applied force. It is not moving. Why it is not moving? Some other force is there. That force present between the surfaces, table and compass box. That force opposing the motion of the compass box. That is why the object is at rest. So when you apply force, ready to try to move, then there will be development of force called frictional force. The frictional force always acts along the surfaces. Right? If I move here, what happened? It is not moving. I am applying force, but it is not moving. Suppose if I increase the force, now there is a force called static frictional force or static friction. So static friction will be seen or observed when it is ready to move. So that type of friction is called static frictional force. So if I apply more force, it is moving fast. Then we can understand that friction is decreased, applied force is more. Suppose if I leave it here, what happened? Frictional force is more compared to applied force. That is why it is not moving. Okay. Now static friction is observed when it is ready to move. Suppose after in the motion, it is moving. Now what type of friction here? Kinetic friction. When it is in the motion, the friction force present between the objects is called kinetic friction. So now there is no friction actually. Normal force, weight is equal now. First situation. Second, ready applying force. Just I am pushing. Then static friction developed. Now it is in the motion. Static friction reduced, kinetic friction increased. So the force present between the surfaces when it is in motion, kinetic friction. So now we discussed what is static friction, what is kinetic friction, when normal force or downward force equal. Okay, three situations we have seen. Okay, so tomorrow we will see what is rolling friction. Okay, thank you.